Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Cypher2 here today. Now in today's video, I wanted to kind of update you guys on what I've been doing. So if you guys didn't notice, I was pretty much gone for about 2.5 weeks of uploading videos onto my YouTube channel that were like actual content driven and not just gameplay driven. So I just want to say thank you guys though for if you watch those videos, thank you. If you're staying subscribed to the channel, thank you very much, guys. It means a lot to me. But basically what happened, guys, is that I actually got to see my family for 2 weeks. I went back home for 2 weeks, and honestly, I just kind of stopped creating videos and uploading videos for those 2 weeks to kind of give myself a break, also off of YouTube and from work in general. So I just want to say thank you guys for staying subscribed to the channel and for understanding why I was gone. But content will be coming back. It will be coming back slowly and slowly as it was before those 2 weeks. You guys do know the content was pretty out there. It was pretty big and stuff like that. But in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about Battlefield 1942, as well as the update and all that stuff, to the channel, why I've been gone, etc, etc, etc. But I want to tell you guys more about the 2 weeks I was gone. So if you guys I had an awesome, amazing 2 weeks. It was amazing. It was great to feel off from work and from YouTube in general, guys. Be prepared for maybe that to happen in the future again. Like I said, sometimes you just need a breather from creating content, especially since Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War is nothing but boring at the moment. Which we'll talk about in the next video that'll be uploaded to the channel. But today, to you guys, I want to talk to you guys about 1942. So you guys do know the official gameplay trailer was dropped earlier this month. I think it was about about 2 weeks ago, almost. It was dropped, guys. And we also got tons of information from a live stream as well, and a live stream with the creators and stuff like that of Battlefield. Not 1940. Why am I saying 1942? 2042. There's tons of Easter eggs in the trailer. Tons of cool stuff, guys. But so I want to tell you guys about what I think about the game and what we know. So we know that bots are going to be implemented into multiplayer, which that's good. That's good. I always like games that have implemented bots into games. But the thing is here is we're not going to think about Battlefront 2 bots. Back in the day. Star Wars Battlefront 2 had, multiplayer, character, online multiplayer plus bots, at the same time. So it'd be a full lobby of, 20 online players, versus 20 online players with bots as well mixed in there. This is going to be more of a case scenario where EA has said that, for example, I think the lobbies are going to be like 50 to 50, something crazy like that. So for example, if you only have 48 players versus 48 players, there will be added 2 bots on both sides to make it a full lobby. They're kind of trying to make this so that areas where they can only have where there's so many players in an area, for example like Australia, where the servers are pretty small, they want to fill up all the servers and make them look full, which is good. But if a player decides to join the game, that bot will be taken out and will be replaced with a player, a real life player. So I think that's a great way to keep the games full, especially in the future life of the game, after it's already done and gone, and maybe we have the new Battlefield coming out and people like this Battlefield better, for example. I think it's going to keep the game lobbies full. It's a nice feature. I think it's actually be a great feature. I think that all multiplayer games from now on should kind of start thinking about a feature like this, for future content, because I think it's going to keep the game live longer, alive, and maybe keep more content coming to the game. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's going to be an amazing idea. And maybe may need some tweakings and stuff like that. Between like making the bots not so overpowered but not great at the same time. And I know that can be hard, but if they tweak it a little bit and make it at least playable, where they can actually play in vehicles pretty decently and stuff like that, I think it will be great. I think that's the hardest part about implementing bots is them being able to use the vehicles in the game effectively. I think that's the only thing I'm a little bit scared about, but we'll see when the game comes out. Another thing is though that I want to talk about is that They're implementing specialist into Battlefield, which a lot of people are kind of looking at this, interestedly. I know a lot of people don't fully understand what they mean by, specialist into Battlefield, but I think the live stream explained it the best when they, described, what the specialist was going to be. But I'm going to kind of paraphrase what they said so I don't get taken down on YouTube, for copyright claims, whatever. I'm not a big influencer yet, so I don't want to risk that. But basically, for example, let's take your recon class, all right? From Battlefield 4. Basically, all of the stuff in the recon class were, usable only for recon. But with the specialist, what they're going to do is they're going to take that recon class and break it down into different specialists within that recon class that have their own unique ability that makes them a recon, specialist. But you don't have to be specific to a certain play style of being a recon, for example. And then you also have another gadget as well that will be a free-to-play gadget that, a bunch of, different gadgets will be available to all of the specialists, basically. So, for example, you can be a recon but still have a rocket launcher, so that, you can have recon gadgets as well as, the engineer gadgets as they were before, so that it doesn't feel like only one type of special, one type of class is being played on a map, for example. Which I think is a good idea, but also is a bad idea at the same time, because I think this may prohibit some certain things and may just make some gadgets used more than others. I think that's why, that they're gonna notice some things that need to be tweaked a little bit more within, this kind of specialist idea. But I think it's a great idea. I think it's gonna, make more players, pick different, classes other than just, either engineer or recon all the time, because I know that can be always kind of hard to do when it's only those, classes playing on a certain map, for example. And I understand the pain and the torture of that. Another thing, though, that I think is going to be interesting is that with that ability, you're also going to have, I think it's another open slot, which is going to be for your, throwable equipment. So C4, I don't know, grenades, stun grenades, stuff like that. I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be really cool about that. And also, as you guys also do know, is that the events in the map, so like the tornado, for example, in the desert kind of map, that can happen, and also it cannot happen as well, and also will not have the same path, every game that you play on that map. It'll have, multiple different paths, and it could also not happen at all. So I think that is also very cool. I think it's going to add a lot of interesting things. And also, if you guys do pay attention to the trailer, that when you are in that zone as well, that you will lose, your HUD, because, it'll be like glitching and stuff like that, due to the weather effects. And also, you'll be seems like reduced to hip fire only, from what it looks like, and maybe just a little feature. I'm not sure yet though, but he does cover, the screen a little bit with his hand, so you may be reduced to only hip fire mode when you're in, this kind of tornado area, the warning zone, whatever they call it. I think that's gonna be interesting. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. This will be, another cool thing, another little kind of detail added into Battlefield that I think is, kind of interesting, and I think it'll be kind of nice. I think it'll just make it more realistic, kind of like how the shell shock thing kind of happened in the Battlefield as well. But yeah, I'm just excited to play it. I think, the next Battlefield is going to be amazing. The only thing, though, that I do not like about the next Battlefield is that it's been confirmed that it's going to be multiplayer only. There's not going to be a campaign element to it, which I'm kind of depressed, because I usually like the Battlefield's, campaigns. I think they're notorious for having some good ones. For example, Battlefield 3's was very good, and of course Battlefield Bad Company 2's campaign was also amazing. I think those are the two top rated Battlefield games, plus also campaigns. I think Battlefield 4 is a little bit of a mixed bag in the overall community. I know I didn't like it, and I'll go into a little bit of detail about that. A little bit of details that I like the kind of overall story, but each mission was way too long. I mean, each mission was like at least an hour plus long, and at the end of the day, it just kind of really just amounted to you running half the mission from area to area, from small fighting to small fighting, sections. So it really wasn't interesting compared to Battlefield 3's, which was, just immersive and just amazing content. But I think that's going to be the one deciding factor that may prohibit, you know, this Battlefield becoming more popular, you know, because Call of Duty Black Ops 4 tried to do the same thing, you know, not having a basic campaign, and it backfired on them. So this may backfire on EA. In the long run, I'm not sure yet though, you know, depending on how it goes and depending on how the community, you know, overall takes this effect. But I have heard from the general, you know, good portion of the community and, you know, friends that I've talked to that have played Battlefield, they kind of are a little bit sad that there's not going to be a campaign in this next installment of the Battlefield franchise, which I'm also on that side where I kind of think that it may backfire on the game, and I kind of want them to have a new campaign because, to be honest, I haven't really played a Battlefield game since Battlefield 1, honestly. I didn't even want to play Battlefield 5, and Battlefield 1 I barely played at all. So, you know, Battlefield 4 was the main one. But hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. You know, we're out of time for you guys, and I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you again for staying around, even though I was gone for about 2.5 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks of content uploads. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.